And we are live, ladies and gents, and welcome to this week's show. So, today's show is aptly titled Game Over because, by every indication, the console wars are over. I know how my esteemed colleague feels about that. So, yeah, Luke, I'll hand it over to you. Welcome to Game Over.
This to me, like you watch wrestling.
Yes.
Whoever has ever, when is it ever the end of the match? When it's an elimination match and one of the last three remaining gets eliminated, how is that the end? Just tell me how that's the end.
Okay, that's a valid point. That's a solid point. So
It's not a point, it's a question. I'm just asking a question.
Okay. Okay, let's go with that then. Let's go with that. Let's say
A question.
Okay, it's not over until it's over then. Until the bell rings. I'm in agreement with you. That's my answer.
So
Happy?
is the console war over?
So, some people say it is. And I think and we're gonna play
I'm
a couple
talking
of
to
clips.
you, I'm not talking to some people.
To me, it's been over for a minute now.
So explain
If
to
you're
me
asking my take, my
how,
opinion, it's been over for a minute.
again, you think it's
yes.
over. So explain to me, because you believe it's over, not some people. You believe it's over. So explain to me how, going back on my analogy, how does a triple threat elimination match end by one winning?
That's a very good point.
Yeah, this is not a sudden death situation. This is elimination match.
But then again, you're making a very direct comparison to something that's a little bit more abstract that we're talking about versus.
This was not. This was never the Xbox versus PlayStation console war.
Okay.
That's not what it was. Which is why when you put that thing on your cover, right, of the three consoles, right, you put three consoles on the screen on your thumbnail.
I did three consoles on the screen.
One,
and
again, I'm just asking for the logic behind this. I'm not calling you a liar. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just asking for the logical consistency here. That's all I'm asking for. Help me out, Oshis.
And again, like, I'll just go back to the fact that, like, if we assume that the console war was between Sony and Xbox, then it's pretty much over. Because for the longest time,
do you assume that?
Yes. Well, I'm in that.
Why? Camp. So again, Oshis, I'm using.
We haven't even started the show. We haven't even started the show yet. But okay,
I'm using your logic. You on your thumbnail, you did not put Xbox and PlayStation. You never consulted me at any point.
Okay.
I did not bait you into making that thumbnail.
Yeah. Okay. So let me give you my spiel then.
Three things on the cover.
Yes.
One of them is it's not even dead. It's evolving.
Okay.
But I think that's a subject for another day. Let's pretend it's actually dead. First, I need you to explain to me the logical, the logic. Like, draw the line for me. How on your thumbnail you have three consoles, but you sit there with your smug look and you say the console war was actually two consoles.
No. So
no. You literally said you consider the console war being only Xbox and PlayStation. You literally just said that.
And one of these days I'm gonna answer your question there when you give me a chance. Can I answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So again, to me, if you ask me, because you asked my opinion, you said to me, is the console war who the console war was between? And I said to you that primarily it was between Xbox and Sony or PlayStation. That's the one that everyone was focused on because they were competing directly with each other. You know this. But overall, you're absolutely right. All three are part of the console war. Even if we go back to the FTC trial, all three were considered part of the console war, the console arms race, even though they might have different offerings. So the reason I actually titled this episode "Game Over" is because of the fact that there's a couple of things that happened that I want us to sort of talk about or go over. What's up, Fuzzy? Thanks for joining. There's a couple of things that I wanted us to go over in terms of where each of the three big companies is standing currently. So going back to your point about, is Nintendo part of this? Absolutely. So my reasoning in terms of it's pretty much over is because, number one, we're seeing almost little to no competition in the console front, because we're in a situation where Sony is so far ahead, and things are so skewed towards Sony that there's literally no chance for anyone catching up, or specifically Microsoft catching up. Number two, we are seeing Nintendo sort of shepherd the Switch out, and the Switch 2 is coming in. So we're getting new hardware from Nintendo. So this new hardware, we're probably going to compare to the PS6 and whatever is coming from Microsoft, the PC hybrid console that they're making. And lastly, of course, is Xbox and their position. And I want us to watch the video of Satya Nadella, and you can give me your thoughts on this, where he declares that it's pretty much over. They want to be a third-party publisher. That is their focus going forward. They're no longer focused on the console's arms race. So that is why I thought this would be inappropriate. In fact, I wanted to do this episode last week. But if you look at, for instance, the lineup for today, basically, it's us just looking at, in terms of everything, all around public perception, sales, everything for the three big console holders, and to sort of assess whether we can call it, or, to your point, is it still too early to call? Are they still, just because because again, if it's a fatal four-way, sometimes you just have to pin the one guy and you win. It's about making sure that the other guy doesn't get to pin anyone. I hope that addresses your question.
It didn't.
Rachie, welcome in. Glad to have you.
You utterly failed to answer the question.
Okay.
You ran around. You did everything you could. You shadow boxed better than even Reforge Gaming, but you did not address the specific point that I made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's your show, so I'll let you keep bullshitting. It's fine.
You're the co-host. So anyways, before we get into it, and I know I always see you online, what have you been up to, and what have you been playing? And can you just let us know in terms of the because I know you announced it on your show, but just maybe a breakdown in terms of which shows do you still have during the week, because I know the Thursday's show is gonna fall away.
We're not doing any shows during the week for the foreseeable future. Just
really?
a Saturday show. Yeah.
Wow. Life creeping up.
Yeah. Life is lifing.
That sucks, because I think you guys you're on a very strong run.
I've been playing the Outer Worlds 2, and as far as being online is concerned, I'll rock up for 30 minutes, and then I'm out. I don't even have time to be on Twitter all day anymore. It is what it is.
No, I've noticed that your presence is also is not as common as before.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Gonna put some of the comments up on. There we go. Valve is the future. That's actually a good take. Valve is the future. Okay, cool. So, just in terms of opening, Luke, so you sort of know what my spiel is. So, what's your take on everything? And then I want us to sort of review a couple of videos of a couple of incidents.
On everything about what? About the end of the console war?
Specifically about the console war thing. I know that you've spoken about this extensively in the past, but given where everybody's position currently is, what's your take? Do you think we still have another 5 years? Do you think that it's all gonna go between, because again, like there's handhelds coming in, so there's that whole conversation of, is Sony now going to try and take on Nintendo again? Are we back there? But then again, like please, give me your take.
I hate this whole discussion about Sony is only competing with Nintendo when it's convenient to say that Sony is competing with Nintendo. I fucking hate it. A console is a console is a console. The Switch 1 was a console. The Switch 2 was a console. It's not Nintendo's fault that Xbox and PlayStation were retarded and made children that can only play one way. Nintendo decided to make something that can play two ways. It's not their fault that they did that. So point number one, Oshis, go and correct your thumbnail. Number one in the console race, even though I begrudgingly hate them, is Nintendo. Because this is not about feelings. It's not about feelings. I know you have an affinity for PlayStation. I do too. But
what?
number one is Nintendo. Okay? We don't play their games. We play maybe one or two of their games. We don't like how they do with their corporates and lawyers and whatever. But number one is Nintendo. Okay? It's why they're the only ones.
Why do you say number one is Nintendo?
It's because they're the only ones that still have exclusives.
Okay, so
they're the ones selling the most consoles.
Okay,
that's so all it is.
All right, so you think exclusives are a huge part of the conversation?
When people like you want to talk about the console war, all you ever talk about is exclusives and console sales.
That's it, Jim.
That's all you guys. That's all you guys ever talk about. It's exclusives and console sales. That's all you guys ever talk about. So fine. Who sells? Who has? Who? And not even who sells the most. Who has the only exclusives? PlayStation has no exclusives. Xbox has no exclusives. So if you want to talk about the last one standing, just put a big fat logo of Nintendo on the thumbnail. Go and fix it. Because they're the only ones that have exclusives left. Consoles, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to compare Nintendo to any of the other two when it comes to who sells consoles.
That's interesting. Your take is the opposite take.
The Switch 2 in a couple of weeks beat the PS2 in sales. The PS2, the highest selling PlayStation of all time. The Switch 2 beat it in North America in a couple of weeks.
Yep, that's a fact.
So before we even start any conversation about how I feel about this, I'm trying to talk to you, Oshis. Not the quote unquote people, the nebulous people. Talking to you, an actual human being, not a random name on Twitter with a random algorithm, might just be a fucking bot. I'm talking to you. When people talk about the console war, those are the only two things they talk about: selling consoles and who has exclusives. You decided to wake up today, make a thumbnail with the number one console being the one that sells the second best and one that doesn't have exclusives. That's what you decided to do.
That's a thought. So let me ask you a question, because your take is the opposite take.
Before you ask me a question, tell me why specifically these 2 points I brought to you are rubbish.
You're so antagonistic. Yeah,
break them down. No, I need you to break them down, because I'm tired of talking about this topic, but no one wants to genuinely talk about it. Tell me why Nintendo is not a console. Tell me why Nintendo is not a console. Tell me why Nintendo is second.
Nintendo is a console.
Even though it has more console sales and is the only one that still has exclusives. Tell me why it's not number one. That's what I want to understand.
Well, I mean, if we look at like overall market share, it's not number one. Sony's number one.
Hold on, the wife's calling me. Hold on.
Okay. Well, Alok negotiates with the wife. What do you guys think? Rachie? Hey, Vincent, welcome in. Glad to have you. What are you guys thinking? Rachie, Vincent, do you agree with Luke? Should sorry, I almost said Sega. Yes, you see, the conversation was easy when it was Sega and Nintendo. But do you think that Nintendo should be part of this conversation? Because if we look at overall market share, I believe it's number one is Sony, and then I believe Nintendo is number two, and then Microsoft would be number three. Could be wrong, because it changes every quarter whenever they announce the results.
We have to kick this one very quickly, Oshas. I have to go pick up my niece. There's some emergency at the Squale or whatever. They went for some field trip. Okay. You said market share.
Yes.
You said market share.
So let's just look at, like, for instance, I'm just gonna read down. So you're saying Nintendo's number one, right? So some of the highlights.
So you're not gonna address the 2 points I put out,
which is just run them by me again.
Console sales and exclusives. That doesn't matter today.
That's primarily what matters, is console sales and exclusives. I agree with you.
The fuck is this about market? Dude, I've never heard one console fanboy talk about market share. We're now financial analysts. What's happening?
Yeah, but market share has got nothing to do with it. Just says which console. Like, I mean, this has always been part of the conversation. Everybody talks about the fact that, like, Sony has the biggest in terms of, like, console market share. If you look at, like, for instance,
what's the definition of console market share? What's console market share?
Well, I mean, it would be like how many people have Sony consoles at one time, and
so again, how do we reconcile? Oshus has more market share. Sorry, PlayStation has more market share.
Yeah.
Nintendo sells 3 times more consoles every generation.
But, like, what are we looking at? Are we looking at, like, how many consoles were sold, or who made the most money? Or
that's why I asked you for a definition. Yeah. That's why I asked you for a definition of what is market share in the gaming context. You specifically said the amount of people that have PlayStation consoles is more than the amount of people that have other consoles. And I'm saying, please reconcile the following logic. PlayStation has more consoles in people's hands than anyone else, but also at the same time, Nintendo sells 3 times more consoles than PlayStation every gen. I need you to.
So I think, like, I'm in agreement with Vincent Vega. Like, if you look at, like, the PlayStation user base, the PS4 and the PS5 are about the same user base as about the Switch.
Okay, so let's get into the specific sales. Nintendo Switch. No, you were talking about the amount of consoles sold. I can tell you the Switch
lifetime sales are 153 million units globally. So the PlayStation 5 is sitting at 80.3 globally. But then if you combine that with your PlayStation 4 numbers, then you get a significant number above what Nintendo has in terms of overall active users.
Yeah, but now we're assuming that the PS4 players stayed on the PS4, and all the PS5 players are new players.
No, we are assuming based on, like, just basically based. Let's put it like this. That's actually a good question, or that's a good point. Based on Sony's last report, just over 55% of, I believe, PlayStation players were still on PS4. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
I'm listening to what you're saying. I still don't. I don't see how Nintendo sells more consoles, but is the monthly.
Okay, so let's say I concede to your point. They're part of the conversation.
Dude, they are the entire conversation. Okay, because the conversation today is about the console war. There's 3 consoles. One.
Fair enough.
One still has exclusives. One sells more than the other 2. What else do we need to talk about?
Okay, I concede you are right. And the reason I'm conceding, I know that you have to leave soon, but I want us to talk about this stuff here. This is just some of the tidbits that happened this week. Let's see where it is. There we go. Starting with this gem. So I had a nice little chat with Taye about this.
Is it possible to get into this thing on my phone? Hold on, I'm trying to think if I can get on this podcast on my phone. Then maybe I can.
You'll tell me when you're ready. But anyways, also while you're busy, let me just get to the chat real quick. Vincent says Switch 1 is about mini. Yeah, I think we've discussed that. Richie says, let's be honest, Switch sold more. Switch sold more because some thermal sick fanboys have 20 Switches of every color. That's very true. Nintendo has a very loyal fan base that will buy everything that's Nintendo. They'll buy every single remodel, every single Zelda version or Mario version. So that happens a lot. It's like Xbox fans with Xbox controllers. Reggie says GDR5 is the future prop for the PlayStation, unlike the Xbox's DDR3. Are you referring to when the Xbox and the PS4 came out? So Reggie says Oshas is counting. Yes, I'm also counting PS4 in terms of the overall user base. So Vincent, you said number 1 is PC. So I won't include until maybe when Microsoft decides to release their hybrid console and Steam goes all in. I heard that they were working on an RX 56. Is it 7600 based console? Until they go all in on that, I'll hold off calling or including PC in this race. Vincent says Nintendo's number 2, PlayStation is number 3. Again, like I think Loke is right when he says that we didn't have to look at like what are we looking at. Are we looking at like how much money is made? Are we looking at like how many consoles are sold and how many games are supported on all those consoles sold? Vincent says something that I think a lot of people have been echoing this week. He says Microsoft can write off with their console BS or their console. I take it you're talking about their console hybrid BS. Look, my thing is, it sounds like a great idea on paper, but again, even like when they were promising us the ROG Ally or the Xbox ROG Ally X, they said similar things, that the software that's going to launch with it will be complete, and it will be end to end, similar to you just launching games on your console. And unfortunately, ladies and gents, that was not the case. It's not what we got. We got something a little bit less than that. So Vincent goes on to say Xbox is not PC. Well, they want it to be. So while Loke is busy, I think let's start on this video. And Vincent, I want to hear your take on this. Because he says some very interesting things here.
On the topic of changing business model, shifting your business model, it seems like the console wars are over. Take me through the journey.
You're a peacetime CEO now.
You're a peacetime CEO. The wars.
So again, I find that interesting that they jump to the same sort of conclusion that we all jump to, besides Luke, that the console wars are pretty much over. Because the whole arms race, and again we can argue semantics, but the whole console's arms race has always been around the fact that you have two competitors, which was Sony and Xbox, sort of giving the same value offering, but then it's up to the customer which one they go with or which one people support. Oh, welcome back.
Sorry, hey, dude, work. Again, to the point in the video, I just wanted to say, my point is that Xbox and a lot of people have this self-importance that needs to get brought down a notch. The console war.
Why do you say Xbox specifically?
Because in that video you just showed, the so-called exec is talking about, oh, the wars are over. Not the war with Sony and Nintendo. The wars are over. It's like, no, dude, you were not 50% of the war. You were 30%, right? You might be the biggest company on the planet, but you were 30% of the war. I'm not one of these guys that moves the goalpost. No, because Nintendo had a weaker console, it wasn't a real console. I don't play that game. Is it a console or not? Fuck, I need to take another call.
Okay, all right, fair enough. So
am I wrong there? Am I wrong there is the question.
No. I agree with a lot of the points that you're saying. But I'm just interested. The reason I'm bringing this up is because this, of course, is the topic of the conversation, that white flags have been waved and we're all good. But let's hear what they have to say. And then they open with, funny enough,
over. But take me through the evolution of the business model shift on the gaming side of the business. It's one of the most interesting pieces of Microsoft.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've got to remember, in fact, Flight Simulator, I think, was the first product Microsoft built even before, I think, our DevTools was first.
Yeah.
Flight Simulator was second.
My side of the shift on the gaming side of the business. It's one of the most interesting pieces of Microsoft.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've got to remember, in fact, Flight Simulator, I think, was the first product Microsoft built even before, I think, our DevTools was first.
Yeah.
Flight Simulator was second.
That says so much about the culture.
Yeah, it is.
It's like as soon as you gave the developers the.
And again, Laura Fryer, one of Ty's favorite podcasters, disputed this, saying that this is actually false. It was not Microsoft that built it. It was someone who was almost like an indie programmer who later then sold it to Microsoft. But yeah, again, like the whole tone of this is like sort of like, well, we're busy pioneering the next thing, you know. We've sort of conquered this arena. Now we're pioneering the next thing. Any thoughts, Luke?
Pioneering losses. Sorry, I was half listening. They said they're pioneering transition to PC.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, any thoughts in terms, because I'm sure you've seen this, any thoughts in terms of his opening and the fact that, like, well, he's basically saying this is what we've always planned. You know, this was always part of our plan. The reason we went into...
This is true.
Huh?
If you watch the Xbox documentary...
Do you believe him?
No, that's what I'm going to explain. If you watch the Xbox documentary, and it's embarrassing, even Xbox fans don't know this. I know this because I'm weird. I watch the actual documentaries about these companies. That's why I know Nintendo. That's why I know Nintendo used to host, you know, those places. Anyway, Xbox, the main inspiration to make the original Xbox was that they were frustrated with the limitations of all the previous gaming generations. And with PC gaming, Seamus Blackley was like, let's make a PC that's a console. That's why the original Xbox was so customizable. If you remember, off the top of my head, I can only remember that you could add like music from whichever MP3 that you downloaded into whatever video game you wanted.
Yes, you could. It allowed
that was one of the
because
that was one of my
my
first
PC.
Yeah, that was what exactly. It was literally built like a Windows PC. They even had to hide it from what's his name, Bill Gates, according to the documentary. So 1,000,000%. This is like Xbox finally doing what they first dreamed of doing. The Xbox 360 was Xbox dumbing down. That was Xbox going from Super Saiyan to normal Goku. And then the Xbox One was like going from normal Goku to fucking Krillin.
You can't elaborate what you mean by dumbing down.
Because the again, going back to the documentary and to your question, the original vision for Xbox was, we're so tired of these limited Nintendos, these limited Commodores, these limited Segas. Let's make a console. God damn it. Let's make a console that is a PC, or a PC that is a console, because PC is the shit. Anyone can go back and watch that documentary. It's like 2005. This is not cope. This is what they actually had in their original vision. Hold on.
All right. So while Luke is busy with that, let's continue with the video.
The ability to write code. They were like, let's make a game. It's amazing.
And so, to me, remember, the biggest gaming business is the Windows business.
Yeah.
To us, gaming on Windows.
Yeah.
And of course, Steam has built a massive marketplace on top of it, and done a very successful job of it. So to us, the way we are thinking about gaming is, first of all, now we're the largest publisher after the Activision. So therefore, we want to be a fantastic publisher, similar approach to what we did with Office. We're going to be everywhere in every platform. So we want to make sure, whether it's consoles, whether it's the PC, whether it's mobile, whether it's cloud gaming, or the TV. So we just want to make sure the games are being enjoyed by gamers everywhere. Second, we also want to do innovative work in the system side, on the console and on the PC. And bring, it's kind of funny that, people think about the console, PC as two different things. We built the console because we wanted to build a better PC, which could then perform for gaming. And so I kind of want to revisit some of that conventional wisdom.
Oshas, can you pause that?
The console has an experience that is unparalleled.
You know what's really? Oh man, you're calling back again. Okay, hold on. Sorry, dude. Sorry.
No problem. All right, so he said some interesting things there. I actually just want to go back. Let's say here.
So we want to make sure, whether it's consoles, whether it's the PC, whether it's mobile, whether it's cloud gaming, or the TV. So we just want to make sure the games are being enjoyed by gamers everywhere. Second, we also want to do innovative work in the system side, on the console and on the PC. And bring, it's kind of funny that,
I'm back.
People
Sorry.
think about the console, PC as two different things. We built the console because we wanted to build.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
You know what? This and you know what? This is one of the things that I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of glad that work is kind of taking up so much of my time, because I just can't with this disingenuous behavior. I can't. I see a whole bunch of people making fun. I see a whole bunch of people making fun of when the Xbox guy, I'm forgetting his name, said, "Oh, we're competing with TikTok." And God damn it. Okay. And people are saying, this guy is dumb, Xbox is clueless, blah blah blah. And then you see motherfuckers like Alex pulling receipts. Sean Layden said this years ago. Reggie Fils-Aimé said this when he was head of Nintendo years ago. No one made fun of it. Everyone's like, yeah, man, yeah, facts. Yeah. These guys have vision. Yeah, these guys know what's up. As soon as the Xbox guy says the exact same motherfucking thing, suddenly they're clueless idiots. I hate this double standard. Like, the Xbox tax is real.
Go on, let it all out. Get it off your chest.
It's exhausting. Oshas, if anything I'm saying is bullshit, I need you to call me on it right now. because I'm exhausted. I need you to tell me, no, dude, you're wrong. Sean Layden didn't say this. Reggie Fils-Aimé didn't say this. Or tell me that when these guys said this, the fanboys were like, no, these guys are idiots. I need to see this evidence because none of this happened. And then to what Satya is saying, anyone can look up this dumbass Xbox documentary from back in the day. They said it. They said that was the goal, that was the vision. And still, it's like, no, Satya is coping. What do you mean is coping? He's saying something they said way before, way back in the day. In the 360 days, when Xbox was doing just fine, the documentary came out, but we're sitting here and pretending like this is a new narrative. It's not new. It's really not.
You're
Fuck, I
really
need to take this call.
about this subject, ne?
I'm not passionate. I'm tired. I'm fucking I'd like to discuss other things.
Okay. Don't worry, we'll discuss other things in our next episode. But now let's get back to it.
For today, I'm just gonna take my blood pressure pills.
Yeah. So let's hear what Satya is saying, and some golden nuggets are in this clip.
A better PC,
ancient,
which could then perform for gaming.
Yeah.
And so I kind of want to revisit some of that conventional wisdom. But at the end of the day, console has an experience that is unparalleled.
Yeah.
It delivers performance that's unparalleled. That pushes, I think, the system forward. So I'm very looking forward to the next console, the next PC gaming. But most importantly, the game business model has to be where we have to invent maybe some new interactive media as well. Because after all, gaming's competition is not other gaming. Gaming's competition is short form video.
Yeah.
And so if we as an industry don't continue to innovate.
There we go. There's the whatchamacallit. Do you guys agree with Loke that gaming's competition is coming from short form video? Let's just unpack that. But to you, does that sound legit? Like, I don't care who Sean Layden or whoever said what. Like, does that sound legit?
I don't think gaming's competition is coming from short form video.
Yeah.
Only.
Explain.
I think it's worse. I think gaming's competition is coming from everything. It's coming from short form. It's coming from podcasts like ours.
Yeah.
It's coming from TV shows. It is literally the attention economy.
But like that goes without saying, though, right?
It goes without saying until you have to say it, and then motherfuckers be sitting there saying that's not true. Oshus. It goes without saying, the same way we all used to believe that left was left, right was right. Remember that time? Remember when common sense reigned? Now you need to say the obvious thing. And when you say the obvious thing, instead of everyone just being like, yeah, okay, that goes without saying, and then moving on with their day, no, this guy said the obvious thing. Now we're all going to lose our minds.
Okay. Can you give an example?
I just gave you an example.
Abstract.
No, I'm Oshus. I just explained to you that when he says TikTok, he's not just talking about TikTok, he's talking about all the rest of the entertainment sector, because we can only dedicate so much time to entertainment specifically. And you responded, look, that goes without saying.
Yeah. I mean, this is like a note.
When someone says something that's obvious, you say that goes without saying, and then we move on. That is the normal prescribed reaction in a civilized society. When someone says, ooh, Oshus, did you know the sky is blue? You're like, yeah, okay. Yeah. That goes without saying. The issue right now is that this guy is saying the obvious thing, which you just said is the obvious thing when I said it, but you want to make it a big deal that he just said the obvious thing.
When did I want to make it a big deal? I just asked you for your take. Do you agree or don't you agree?
When I say you, I'm talking about the people that are losing their minds to where this
but
is
who's
now
losing? Okay, can you
topic to where this is, Oshus, this is a topic on your podcast for a reason. No?
No, absolutely.
No.
So
exactly.
can you give?
It's the reason it's a topic
because
people are losing their minds about it.
Okay. I just think people like find it like I don't think anyone is losing their minds per se. I just think people don't think this is necessarily true. I'm not saying I agree with the people. I'm just saying that is probably like where they're coming from, is that they don't believe this to be fact.
Yeah, these people also believe that the console war is only PlayStation and Xbox. So
let me ask you a question then.
That goes without saying.
Let me ask you a question then.
What?
Can you I just want to understand, so how is this different from 5 years ago, 10 years ago?
How is what different from 5 years and 10 years
How
ago?
is like what he's saying different? Like this has always been the case. Everyone has always been competing for your time. Different. Yeah? How are they only just figuring this out now that they have to change their entire strategy? It didn't affect them in the past.
They're not figuring it out now. They're saying it now. They're telling you and the shareholders now. You have never been within Xbox's headquarters and participated in any of their meetings. You have never received any minutes from any meeting, an official meeting in Xbox. You don't know that they're saying this now. You know that they're saying it out in public now. But because you've worked at companies, I've worked in companies, the people in the comment section have worked in companies, everyone knows here, things can be said in within the company for weeks, months, years, and then eventually be communicated outside. Does that mean that now the company is saying this? The only people that know that that Xbox is now figuring this out is the people at Xbox. They're the only ones who know this. Because in that statement,
so why the shift? So I think the common sense take within, because like nobody really spoke about this because it never affected Xbox and their positioning in the console market before, and now all of a sudden it does.
That you know of.
Sorry?
I'm saying that you know of.
Yes, that I know of.
Yeah.
So like I'm saying, so why is it now a thing that is making, again, like if you look at like, and again, one can argue that their strategy has been shifting for the last decade or so, but they still sort of like stuck to a very traditional sort of path. Why do you think that they didn't transition earlier on into fully just doing like something like this, like going like with a hybrid / PC console?
I don't know. I've never worked at Xbox. I have no idea why only now they've chosen to do. I don't know why they even abandoned the original structure of the first Xbox.
Yes, because that was actually quite.
It was very innovative. They should have just kept it as it was and made it more PC when the 360 came out.
Oh, you're absolutely right. That was actually, the 360 was a little bit of a pulling back of all the PC.
It was a retardation. It was a retardation. They removed the nitrous. They removed the suspension. They removed everything. They made it a base Honda Civic. They had it all tricked out like it was.
What did they remove? What did they remove, Luke?
The modification ability, dude.
Like what?
They made it a standard console. They made it just a standard console.
Yeah, you still had a hard drive. You could play online better than ever. You could do all the stuff, all the PC stuff that you could, but like they were not as ambitious because they were trying to keep the pricing down. That's the only thing I can think of.
And again, we're waving in the dark as to why they did it. I don't know why they dumbed it down. I don't know.
Okay.
So to your specific question, I don't know why they dumbed it down.
Okay, let's finish listening to this man. There's not much left.
Both how we produce, what we produce, how we think about distribution, the economic model, right? Best way to innovate is to have good margins. Because that's the way
I love that line.
So interesting saying game.
Did you hear that line, Luke?
Yeah, I did. Margins.
Can you quote our boy there? What did he say? Anytime now. Luke? I think we might have lost Luke for a few minutes. Let me just rewind. I just want to go back to what he said. I find it so funny.
Fun.
So interesting saying gaming's competition is short form video. It feels like the entire world's competition is short form. So interesting saying
how we think about distribution. Don't continue.
So he's talking about innovation. He said some interesting things.
How we think about distribution, the economic model, right? Best way to innovate is to have good margins. Because that's the way you can fund.
So interesting saying gaming's competition is short form video.
So his quote is
like the entire world's competition is short.
The best way to innovate is to have good margins. I think no problem. Like I think to me that says so much about overall just where we are right now. And of course we know it's a business, but like it's just I've never heard it phrased like that. That our best form of innovation is making sure that we have good margins. Do you agree
the funny thing is I've heard that from PlayStation and Nintendo. Before the Switch 2 came out, one of the directors or one of the big guys there made a point to say that the costs are going way up for game development. So one of the big things that they need to figure out this generation is keeping costs down.
Okay.
So yeah, I've heard that. Maybe not word for word, but I've heard it.
Okay, that's some interesting feedback. So do you think it's just the phrasing of how he said it?
It's that the Xbox guy said it. I used to make fun of Ham Solo every time he talked about the Xbox text. I'm at the point where like it all looks like the Xbox text now. I can't ignore it. I can't. And then there's so many receipts that just keep getting pulled. And the fact that people almost seem motivated to ignore said receipts makes it even more of a tax. It's so laughable.
So to you, Xbox tax is real? It's not.
Yeah.
It's not made up.
Nah, it's not made up. It's not.
Okay.
Maybe
not
100%. It's not 100% of everything that people say is the Xbox tax, but it's definitely a thing. It's definitely a thing.
Okay. All right. So let's finish hearing what Satya has to say, and then we'll conclude.
Short video.
Restream. One live stream, 30 plus destinations.
That's pretty much it. There's another video I wanted to share with you. So I'm pretty much like, look, to me, none of this is a big deal anymore. Like I'm just glad that everyone is clear now in terms of like which direction Xbox is going. They're gonna focus on third party. We know that they're gonna be making a hybrid console. We know that, and it's just a matter of execution. If they execute very well, some people are on board. Some people are gonna jump. That's their jumping off point, and I think that's all that matters. You vote with your wallet. That's what it comes down to. All right, Luke. So I wanted your thoughts on this.
Okay, so again, me and you would disagree. Although the Xbox tax is real, Oshers, I would not trust a fucking word these guys say.
This guy, like now you're backtracking on what you just said.
No. I'm being consistent. Xbox says the exact same things the other guys say, but when Xbox says it, it's the end of the world. It's the end of the console war, even though there's 3 consoles. It's the end of everything. right? They acquire Activision. It's a monopoly. Their games fail. No, they're in third place. They don't even matter. It's like, what? But that's the Xbox tax on one hand. On the other hand, these guys consistently fuck up, bro. Xbox consistently step on the rake like Bob from The Simpsons. So even though the idea of this hybrid console is something that even I am looking at like, oh, okay, this might be interesting. Oshus, if there was a place to place bets legally, I'm putting my money on Xbox messing up this amazing premise. This is an awesome premise. But if there's a place to bet, I've got $10 saying they're gonna screw it up. People are gonna, it's gonna come out. Everyone's gonna be like, yeah. Like we've all seen the rumors from Jez and whatever. It looks awesome, awesome, dude. Like one of those, like super intelligent, but also dumbass monkeys building a great machine. They're gonna figure out a way to drop a little wrench in the middle of the perfect machinations that they've set in motion.
Okay, so you see them fumbling the execution.
Oh yeah.
I agree. I'm in complete agreement with you. It's just Tai really believes that they can pull this off. He's really behind their plan to execute. And I'm like, look, it looks great on paper, but I just have to wonder if they've got the right people to pull this off. Yeah. So I want us to move on to this, Luke. Because I'm not sure if you're still pressed on time, but I wanted to discuss this with you. I think this is something that I would love to have your take on.
No, yeah.
I think this is it.
That's just the reality of the situation.
I would disagree with
San
that.
Francisco
I
for
think
10
the
years.
only
I was
way
the most
to enact
conservative person I
change
knew.
in the industry is to speak with your wallet.
Yeah, I agree. Speak with your wallet, but don't project onto you. It's obvious, dude. You guys are you're so wrapped up in this culture war over this game.
Pause.
Can't back up and see the forest for the trees. I'm sure you guys cost, and not only you guys, but other people that were offended by it, cost the game, I don't know, 10.
Go ahead, Luke.
It was so nice seeing Colin Moriarty put this guy in his place. But what this guy just said at the beginning is so much horse shit. And it's so ironic coming from him. He's trying to shut Smash JT up by saying vote with your wallet, but don't project onto other people. Motherfucker, what do you do? What does Colin do, Oshus?
So are you agreeing with Smash JT on this one?
No. And this is why I'm disliked by so many people on both sides. Because I have the patience to be anal about each specific point. And although I agree with him about accusing Smash of being a grifter, I do not agree with that initial sentence that he starts off with, saying, Smash, vote with your wallet, but don't be projecting what you want other people to do with their wallets. What the fuck does Colin do every motherfucking day on his podcast? What does he do, Oshus?
He tells people about PlayStation and how PlayStation's better than Xbox.
Fuck off. Colin talks so much more about Xbox than PlayStation. It might as well just call it sacred, instead of symbols, sacred letters, because the buttons on the Xbox are letters. All they ever do is talk about
Does
Xbox.
He really though? You really think so?
All they ever do is talk about Xbox. I don't watch it, but every single clip, like 9 out of 10 clips that I see from that show, they're talking about Xbox. Tell me I'm lying, Oshus.
Yeah. Like,
have you seen viral clips? No, be honest. Have you seen viral clips on a consistent basis from Sacred Symbols talking about PlayStation? Only PlayStation.
No, like I think you have a point there that like they are.
It's always shitting on Xbox. That's all it is.
They are skewed against Xbox somewhat,
which is true. Like Xbox again, like we just.
I mean, they're PlayStation channel, so. And again, like I said, this
which is the greatest irony
as well. That like. I said this to Tai as well, that like most of the PlayStation channels, all they talk about is Xbox. That's been like
it's so ironic
for the last 5 years.
It's so
because I mean, there's nothing to talk about when it comes to Sony and Nintendo. Like they sort of like on that conveyor belt where things are consistent.
What do you mean there's nothing to talk about? There's so much to talk about.
Okay, give me one thing that Sony did this week that's worth talking about.
Ghost of Yote. It's still out.
But that's not this week. That was like what, a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, so you're saying that Colin's also a grifter?
Why? Because he's having this back and forth with this guy?
No, because you're a PlayStation channel, but you don't talk about PlayStation.
I mean, like he can say that. I mean, definitely, like you could categorize him as that.
Like I know an Xbox channel called Matt Likes Games, and for anyone in the comment section, if you go to that channel, I am willing to bet my left testicle. Obviously, I need the one on the right. I'm willing to bet my left testicle that 99% of whatever you're going to find on the channel called Matt Likes Games on YouTube is Xbox stuff. It's specifically focused on just Xbox because it's an Xbox channel.
Okay.
My favorite Manchester United channel, the United Stand, all they ever talk about is Man United.
Mm-hmm. I think that's fair.
But it seems it's the meme, really. It's the joke that most PlayStation channels do not talk about PlayStation. It's hilarious. So no,
I agree.
I don't like this business of saying that all Smash does is project whenever he does the exact same thing.
Are you defending?
I'm not a fan of that.
Are you defending Smash in this scenario?
I'm not defending Smash. Smash is in a pool of feces, right? All I'm doing is kicking Colin in with him. Smash is in a pool of feces. All I'm doing is kicking Colin inside. That's all I'm doing. I'm like, yo, you guys, in terms of this specific angle of the conversation about being grifters and being people that want to project what you think people should do with their wallets, with their money, with their time, Smash and Colin are the exact same.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think that's fair. But anyways, let's finish. I have an opinion to share after this.
Thousands of copies sold. Certainly, it would have sold more copies and did more if the casting was different.
But you're saying you guys caused it to not sell. But what about the people that we didn't cause to not sell, but people just that don't watch YouTube that saw this and were like, why did they put a female protagonist into this game? I don't want to play that.
What's the big deal about that?
The game was based off of Jin Sakai, a story with a male lead protagonist in feudal Japan that people fell in love with. Why would Sucker Punch change it to what many people would say the narrative, and especially during the peak era of, I guess you could say, wokeness or whatever you want to call it during the pandemic?
Did you play Ghost of Tsushima?
I did. One of my favorite games of all time. Love it.
How the fuck would they continue the game?
Jin Sakai becoming the ghost, go to the mainland, open world, would have been amazing.
I don't. So you wanted a direct sequel to the ghost story that was wrapped up, especially with Iki Island and all that stuff, as opposed to jumping forward.
Yeah, please go ahead.
More evidence of Colin motherfucking grifting like a motherfucking grifter.
What did he do?
How many times have we seen a story get wrapped up in video games and then the main character gets drenched up once again for a sequel?
Yo, Cassie.
This guy.
Welcome in.
This guy. The Cult Classic Cage. I love that video. Yeah, I love that video. You know which video I'm talking about. You look good. You look really good. Really, really good. Anyways, Oshas, how many times have video game characters?
Here we go.
How many times have their stories finished and then they came back for another game? Jin Sakai wasn't even killed. He didn't even die.
Okay.
But now, because you have to protect your precious female protagonist in Ghost of Yote, no. His story was done. So they shouldn't have touched it. They shouldn't have done. Dude, settle down.
Okay, but he didn't say any of that stuff.
This is a very convenient. No. This questioning that he is making of Smash, it's a very convenient line of questioning.
Okay, but I want to understand
because
what's
this specific context.
About it.
What's
what is he
grifty
grifting about? Yes.
Again, in the context of gaming, there are countless of examples of stories of characters that their stories quote unquote finished, and they still came back for a sequel. So when he sits there being pompous saying, no, Smash, how are they going to continue his story? His story was finished. Shut the fuck up. ChatGPT could continue Jin
But
Sakai's
is he wrong? Is he lying? Is he lying though?
What about what?
About the fact that the story was pretty much wrapped up. Is he incorrect?
About the fact, dude, every single player game story.
No, that's not what I'm asking you.
When credits roll,
you.
I am literally answering your question.
That's not what I'm asking you, Luke. I'm asking you: is he lying about what he's saying? Not what every other
that
game
the story
is doing.
that the story did not end on a cliffhanger.
Did they wrap up the story? You finished the game, right?
Yes.
Did they wrap up Jin Sakai's story? Yes or no?
Yes, they did.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So, like, that's all I wanted to clarify. Is did they wrap up?
And
so
what I'm trying to
He's
clarify. No. Rewind. He is clearly implying that when stories are finished in video games, they are left alone. And I'm calling bullshit. The entire history of video games stories is absolutely littered with quote unquote complete stories. And then 4 years later, guess what?
Yes,
the story continues.
Right.
The character gets
all I'm saying is it doesn't make him a grifter for pointing this out that the story
I'm saying stop because he's being disingenuous. So yes, you're a grifter. The same way Smash does the exact same thing, where he leads a conversation, totally ignoring the context around this specific line that he's discussing. And then he gets super literal about just this specific line, as if this is how things work, when that's not true.
It's weird because you're someone that likes to be very super literal, that you would critique Colin for being super literal about a very specific point that sort of like separates things from the main conversation. But okay,
I'm being super literal. I'm being super literal about something that all you can do is point out that I'm pointing out. You can't even poke a hole in what I'm saying.
So I ask you, okay, so my question to you is very simple. Before I just go to Cass and what she just said, my question to you is like, so what is he grifting about? Like, what's the grift here?
He's being disingenuous when he's
How is he being disingenuous?
Dude, Oshas. He is saying that there couldn't have been another Jin Sakai story because the story finished in this game. Rewind the video.
He did, like, no, I just want to know that, did he say that or did he ask the
Rewind
question?
the video. Rewind the video.
So before I go back, so Cassie says MF is ignorant that in one video game a story should be wrapped up, but a sequel would introduce new problems for the protagonist. That's a fair point. That's what you're basically saying, Luke, but you're just saying it in a very political way.
My point is that this motherfucker is as dirty as Smash.
Let's listen to what he said. I just want to let's be literal about it.
Becoming the ghost, go to the mainland, open world, would have been amazing.
Rewind it some more.
I don't. So you wanted a direct sequel to the Ghost story that was wrapped up, especially with Iki Island and all that stuff, as opposed to jumping forward. Fuck would they continue the game?
Many people would say the narrative, and especially during the based off of Jin Sakai, story with a male lead protagonist.
No. When he led that question, when you asked that leading question,
fell in love with. Why would Sucker Punch change it to what many people would say the narrative, and
you were being disingenuous, Osha.
Okay, wait. Like, look. Okay, I just want to hear what he said. What he said. Let's listen to what he said, and then we'll take it from there.
The game was based off of Jin Sakai, a story with a male lead protagonist in feudal Japan that people fell in love with. Why would Sucker Punch change it to what many people would say the narrative, and especially during the peak era of, I guess you could say, wokeness or whatever you want to call it, during the pandemic?
Did you play Ghost of Tsushima?
I did. One of my favorite games of all time. Love it.
How the fuck would they continue the game?
Jin Sakai becoming the ghost, go to the mainland, open world, would have been amazing.
So you wanted a direct sequel to the Ghost story that was wrapped up, especially with Iki Island and all that stuff, as opposed to jumping forward.
Yes, I did, and I know a lot of people that did.
I don't know. I really don't know how the story would continue from there. The story is over. He's a wanted.
Just because you don't know, motherfucker, doesn't mean they aren't qualified people to do it. Just because you can't figure out how to keep this ball rolling doesn't mean other people
how is he wrong? Though? I'm struggling to understand. What's the transgression?
He is clearly implying that anyone complaining about the fact that Jin Sakai was changed is people that are not genuine. And
can I ask you a question, Luke? Do you think if it was another male protagonist that's not Jin Sakai, people would have complained as much?
I know I would have.
Okay, so to you, it's the Jin Sakai thing. That's what you care about.
It's the Jin
Sakai.
Because
he mentions a lot of things.
My guy. I still remember when motherfucking Raiden, last I checked, he's the guy, replaced Solid Snake in MGS2. And all hell broke loose. And there was no internet back then, at least not the way it is now. All hell broke loose. People lost their mother freaking minds. And that was changing from a guy to a guy. So I'm not going to have you make this a sexist thing, Oshus. Gamers are not sexist.
I'm just asking the questions.
We like our characters. I'll give you another example. DMC. That was also a guy, but it wasn't Dante. And we all lost our minds. So this is not about male versus female. This is the Ghost series. Was Jin Sakai. We fell in love with the guy. We wanted more Jin Sakai. Don't make this about sexism.
Fuzzy says Jin was the great character.
Fuzzy is clearly in the minority. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think
we're here to
I think context is important, Fuzzy.
We're here to
but anyways, let's continue. So
the
again,
Tsushima disagree with Fuzzy, but it is what it is.
But then let's continue. Let's listen.
Writers write stories. They create the story. I could give you the same pushback saying, I don't know how you'd write a story 100 years in the future throwing a chick in there. Like what kind of argument is that?
I want to go back to the chick thing. Like, what is the problem with it being a woman? Because it's a fantasy. It's not supposed to be historically accurate.
Let's go back even further than that. Why did they need to put a girl into it?
I don't know. I guess it was a creative decision. I don't mind one way or the other.
Exactly. That's the problem I have with it. I disagree with that creative decision. And I was like, you know what? I still might be open to it. Because maybe.
Cullen's face is killing. Anyway, sorry. His expressions are they're golden.
Maybe the game doesn't go overboard in any direction, but as soon as I saw this post from her, I was out.
But
that's just me, though. I don't speak.
Right, that's just you and select number of other people. That's great. No one's saying you can't feel or don't feel a certain way about it. I think what a lot of people are confused about, and what I'm certainly confused about, is the hate and this energy that you guys put towards disliking everything. It comes off to me as touristy.
So do you think that's true? Because like again, like I hear what Cass is saying. Says one video game does not wrap up a story, then it's a failure of a video game. So therefore, by Colin standards, no good game would get a sequel with the same protagonist. Okay, these are all fair points. So like, but I get where Colin is coming from, because another thing is when it comes to context with Colin, I think it's important to understand that he was one of the first people to get cancelled back in the day by IGN and Greg Miller and all those guys. For whatever happened then, like I remember it was a big story, a big hoo-ha. So he's not a person that is like, again, in these so-called culture wars, which I frown. I feel the same way about these culture wars, the same way you feel about console wars. I think it's kind of played out at this point in time, and I'm just so wary of like having these conversations still. I think we should be past this, and we did have this a couple of podcasts back where you sort of aired how you feel about that. So, but my point is, I get where he's coming from, because and I think he's gonna mention it in this clip where he says, "I'm a free speech guy." So I'm just trying to understand where you're coming from, where you guys just hate everything. And I wanted to ask you, Bloke, do you feel that there's a community that just is sort of out there to make money of hating everything?
No.
So you don't agree with anything that Colin has just said?
Yeah, I don't. I also believed what Colin believes, and then I went to smash his channel. I followed his account. I put notifications on for like a month, and he does like some stuff. He just doesn't like a lot of stuff that a lot of people like.
I follow him as well.
But like, he doesn't like stuff that a lot of people like, and because of that, he's a problem. But for me, I see it as people could easily be calling me a grifter with how much shit I give The Witcher. So yeah, I'm just trying not to be a hypocrite. People should be allowed their accounts, Oshes, their accounts that like 80% of things that come out. No one shits on them. But if someone does the opposite, which is hate 80% of things that come out, they're horrible people like Smash. I'm not defending Smash. I'm defending his right and everyone else's right to not like stuff. What people should be doing is not doing what Colin's doing right now, which is why do you hate most things? No, Colin should have done his research. He should have gone to specific instances when he thought Smash disliked something and it was unfair and it was griftery or grift-ish, right? And then gone to question him specifically. Dude, on your video about South of Midnight, you said this. I disagree because of this. Or why did you say that, etc. Be specific. The same way journalists with integrity, when they engage with politicians who say millions of things, they never rock up and say, "You are generally a jovial person." Why is that? No, they get there with specifics. So for me, this was an unfair line of questioning that puts in the firing line not just Smash, but a whole bunch of people that just dislike stuff. When really we should be getting into the nitty-gritty and saying, why don't you like this specifically, the way he did with Ghost of Tsushima? But this business of blanket statements of but you dislike most stuff. Okay, explain what this most stuff is specifically, and then we can get into it. But when you just say you dislike most stuff, it's like, all right, when did you do the statistics? When did you count that Smash made 6,000 videos and 4,000 of them were negative? And where's the proof of this? Who can which analytical firm has fact checked this? No, it's just a feeling, it's just a vibe. Let's just go with it. I disagree with that. I disagree.
Well, I mean, like, he did challenge him to come on his show to discuss this. I would have thought that.
I understand.
You know, like, how are these questions unfair?
Again, like I just said, he was definitely on base with the line of questioning on Ghost of Tsushima versus Ghost of Yote with regards to the change of protagonist. You see, that was nice and specific. We can really get into that. We can really talk about that. But when you come and start talking about, oh, but I feel like you dislike most stuff. Okay. And then you get a vibe, you get a sentiment from my channel. And then what are we supposed to discuss here? You don't like the vibe, bye, bounce.
Okay, so why didn't, like, again, like, why are you doing all this sort of like what is it, backseat, like whatchamacallit, quarterbacking, while, you know, why didn't he ask this question? Because again, he's a guy that prides himself on calling people out and sort of like having these back and forths. Like, I would have thought that he would have been smart enough to be able to articulate what you're articulating, but like, if you look at them
in the Ghost of Tsushima, in the Ghost of Tsushima section, although he was wrong, he still understood the necessity to get specific. All I'm pointing out is that there's no real value in trying to disseminate and discuss this specific section of the interview, because it's like a vague vibe type question. That's all I'm pointing out.
Okay, fair enough.
So you see, this is why it's complicated to talk to me, because I'll get into the specifics of things. I'll give him his flowers on these specific 30 seconds, but then the next 30 seconds are completely off base.
I don't think you've given him any flowers this far, but like I
just told you he did a good thing by getting specific when questioning Smash on Ghost of Tsushima and the change of protagonist and why that bothered him. Kudos to him for getting specific. It's just unfortunate that the specific thing that he chose to be specific about, he was wrong on. 3 things can be right at the same time.
So what is he wrong about? Just before we get back into the video specifically, what are you saying is wrong?
If you rewind, he then zooms out from Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yotei with the protagonist. He zooms out to an overall look at Smash's channel, but then he doesn't bring specifics to this overall look at his channel. He just says he gets the vibe that he hates everything. Instead of saying,
so why do you think he said that?
Go, just rewind.
No, I know that he said that, but I'm saying, why do you think he said that?
Because that's the vibe he gets.
Okay, but like, why would he get that vibe? Like, what would suggest this? Would it
clips the same way? Okay, I'll give you a good example, an active example. The same reason that when anyone mentions sacred symbols to me, I'm like, oh yeah, the PlayStation channel that only talks about Xbox. Why? Because we live in the clip era, right? People just get clipped, and then that's it. And then it goes doubly for them because their channel is not even public. Their channel is Patreon only. So
okay, like,
even
look,
less people, hold on, let me finish. So even less people get to see the entire context of whatever it is that they're discussing. Right? So now I have this sentiment about sacred symbols. Do you know what I'm not going to do, Oshas? The day I get to interview Colin Moriarty, I'm not going to say, Colin, you guys only talk about Xbox. Please tell me why you guys only talk about Xbox. I will take the full context of my ignorance, which is I don't have access to all the 6,000 videos they've made on their channel. Number 2, I've never done the analytical research on his channel to be able to say that, yeah, after scraping all the data from your channel, 90% of the time, all you guys ever talk about is Xbox. I can't say this with any degree of certainty. So when I'm questioning him, I will never approach with that angle because I don't have anything backing me up. I just have vibes. You see me?
I hear what you're saying, but like, and again, I want us to move on, but like, you just made an interesting point here about like you would never sort of blanket them. But earlier on, we were talking about like PlayStation channels and the fact that they just talk about Xbox news. They can also give you the same rebuttal. Say, well, if you've seen my show, or you've seen my channel, you'll see that we actually cover a lot of PlayStation things. So where do you get this impression that we only talk about Xbox news? I'm just saying what you're saying is very subjective.
Once again, when you're engaging in an interview, the standards are different to when you're giving your opinion about something in general.
Yeah, it's not an interview though. This is an open discussion. Like he challenged
interview, debate. Yeah, interview, debate. The standards are very different.
They're going at each other.
Once again, no problem. My point still stands. The standards required to engage in the format that they're looking at, and the standards required for someone to just be on their soapbox like me and just be like, yeah. So I think most PlayStation channels, all they ever do is talk about Xbox because that's all I ever see them getting clipped about. But if tomorrow I have Colin Moriarty on TSWS and then we start talking, I'm not going to be like, yeah, all you guys ever do is talk about Xbox. Why? No, when I know that Colin Moriarty is coming to TSWS, I'm going to have to stamp up the money for that Patreon. I'm going to have to pay for the software, even if it's just for that month. I'm going to have to pay for that software to go and scrape that Patreon and get those videos and give me a proper rundown of analytics so I can then comment and question him specifically. Because now I'm talking to him. I'm trying to get a response from him. I'm throwing accusations at him, not some nebulous Colin that will probably never watch my show. So that's why I keep saying the standards are different for what they're engaging in now versus what we're engaging in.
If I'm being perfectly honest with you.
Because I don't.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was done.
Okay.
You actually timed
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. Let's let them finish.
Like what you like doesn't mean anything. I love Expedition 33 is one of the best games I've ever played. I fell in love with that game. It was amazing. I just finished Silksong, one of the best games I've ever played.
What does that have to do with Ghost of Yotei?
What does it have to do with saying you hate everything? I'm like, no, I don't. I just gave you examples of games I love.
But why is your YouTube channel covered?
So there he goes defending himself, so they're going to go into it.
And all the things you hate then?
It's covered in things that are interesting to me. There's things that I hate, things that I like, things that are something curious to talk about. That's my YouTube channel. That's always been my YouTube channel.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
You see when he said, I don't know, man. The way for Colin to not say, I don't know, man, is to come with the facts. Is to come with the facts, which is, my guy, I scraped your channel. It's 6,000 videos. 5,000 of them is you shitting on stuff. What the fuck? What's going on? But now, when you come
so
with
I think he's leading to
things,
that.
I hope so. Let's go. I hope so.
It comes off to
the interesting thing about how this all seems to work is people that don't understand who someone else is, oftentimes they just hear the negative stuff and then they get a perception of, oh, that's all that guy is, because they don't actually research and find out, oh, actually, he's multifaceted and talks about a lot of different things. And I found him because of something he hated, but he actually talks about things that he loves too.
I looked at your YouTube channel. It was all, I mean, I'm sure there's things on there, but it was all just the same shit. It's not really about, it's really not about, like, I would love to see, do you do like deep dives into games and like play games with people and like talk about the games you play?
I do,
or is it about everything that you hate and like the next woke thing and the woman games, or the, didn't you like, or when you called, like, didn't you call it Tales of Kenzera Zao woke because it had black people in it?
No, I feel like Tales.
For 500 marks, please go ahead, look.
He got drowned out. If you rewind, he said that he has regular game streams where he plays games and talks about the games that he likes. Again, you don't come with specifics, you've got nothing.
Okay.
I love what Colin's trying to do, but I wish he came with specifics. This is why, for anyone watching this is why it's important to be specific. Don't go with vibes, especially into a hostile discussion. That's why at the beginning, when I was talking to Oshus about Nintendo sales, PlayStation, market leadership, etc. That's why I was even like, please define market leadership, because when you're specific, you draw the battlegrounds, you draw the rules for winning and losing, and then a subject can be engaged in good faith. But when it's about vibes, then you get the response that Colin gave just now, which is, I don't know, dude. So specifics are key. They're beyond key. Without specifics, you have nothing. And this is me coming from my procurement
let me ask you a specific question. Let me ask you a specific question. Did you think Kenzera Zhao is woke?
Is Tales of Kenzera Zhao woke?
Yes.
To who?
No. Like to you.
To me.
Do you consider it, if you look at the criteria you use to quantify what you would say is a woke?
In my definition of what woke is, my definition of woke is not this bastardized thing that the white people corrupted. My version of woke, Tales of Kenzera Zhao, is not woke.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
But I just wanted you to clarify.
Tales of Kenzera Zhao got caught up in the crossfire of a situation. I actually feel bad.
Do you agree with this take from Smash JT? That was caught in the crossfire?
No. I disagree. I think Tales of Kenzera Zhao, for the modern bastardized version of woke, fits perfectly. For the original version that some of us are old enough to remember, it doesn't fit. I hope that answers
which version do you subscribe to?
I just answered your question, Oshus. I subscribe to the original version. I subscribe to the original version. But
so you think it's woke, but it's not woke, is what you're saying.
I think it's not woke, but in the 2025 speak, it's woke. And I'm not one of those guys that's going to scream at the clouds and say no, because I still remember how we did it back in the day, right? Whatever most of you guys think it is, that's not what it is. And I'm just going to pretend and I'm going to live in this world by myself. No, I know that I live in a world with other human beings, and everyone else decided to wake up and bastardize the definition of woke. So that's the new definition. But if you ask me personally, Tales of Kenzera Zhao, for me, is not woke.
Okay, so one last question on this. Would you consider a game with Sweet Baby's involvement woke?
Would I consider what?
A game that has Sweet Baby's involvement woke?
No, I still need to play the game. I still need to play the game.
No, that's a fair question. Yeah. That's all I wanted. All right.
Yeah.
So
because they can get involved, but not tarnish it,
So Cassie sort of points that out, that it was considered woke because of the fact that Sweet Baby was involved. Sorry, Sweet Baby Inc. was involved. So it doesn't matter the skin color of the protagonist.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's one of the few things me and Cassie disagree on. Yeah. Cassie is very hardline on Sweet Baby, bro. She does not play with SBI.
No, I'm aware. I'm very much aware. It says it does not matter if it was woke. The boycott was of a side company that was involved, not the game. Like, I mean, this is the situation with, like, for instance, with Sweet Baby's involvement. Like, if you don't play Tales of Kenzera Zhao because of the fact that, like, Sweet Baby's involved, then, if you are sort of taking a principled stance, then don't play Spider-Man, don't play Wolverine, or any other game that has, that studio's involvement. And people tend to be very picky at what they're activists at. So I'm saying, well, at least be consistent. Like, say, well, I'm boycotting
Sweet Baby. It's worse than just Sweet Baby. I forgot to share the video with you. There's this British chick that did a deep dive. It's worse than just Sweet Baby. Oshus, there's hundreds of Sweet Babies. There are hundreds. And this whole campaign started a long time ago. If we're going to sit there and be like, okay, everyone that is Sweet Baby or Sweet Baby adjacent, we're not going to play their games. Essentially, it's just going to be Steam indie games, and even those, many of them have been funded by the guys that are promoting stuff like Sweet Baby. So it's a slippery slope. I would say just stop at Sweet Baby. Do not keep going down this rabbit hole, Alice, because it's a very deep hole.
Fair enough.
Well, bad for
if I find the video, I'll send it to you.
Good dude.
Well, if you feel bad for people like that, you should think twice about kind of some of the energies you're putting into the ether in the industry.
No, I think it's
bad.
important.
Can you
that's
pause?
why we're here.
Can you pause,
to find out
Please
information,
pause.
to give the information to people.
This thing is triggering me right now. You should be careful about the energy that you put out, because it might ruin people's game, because people won't buy it. Again, Oshas, this is a pet peeve of mine that I'll never let go of. You know what? Never is a big word. Maybe I will let go of it one day. But today, I really hate this. I really hate this. Why are people not allowed to dislike stuff? Why? Like, for me, the only people that I will ever be like, you know what, you can criticize people for disliking stuff. The only people that can criticize someone for disliking stuff is people that can show receipts of disliking people for liking shit. I need to see compilations of you shitting on people like, why do you like this game? Stop liking this game. Stop posting about how much you like this game. Stop. If you have the same energy for toxic positivity, you can go ahead and cancel the people that have toxic negativity. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
I wish Taya was here, because he's on the exact opposite spectrum of that. And again, I just feel that, like, let's just be consistent when it comes to that. It's the same thing I always say to you about, just because you don't like the console war, then and you don't want to participate in that conversation, it doesn't make it a pointless conversation, or it doesn't make it like
I'll poke holes in it, Oshas. I'll poke holes in it. You can poke
holes in it if you want,
and then I'll do what I did at the beginning of the show. I'll wait for you to poke holes in my arguments, poking holes in the console war. I waited. You danced around it.
Yeah, but like, no, fair enough. All I'm saying is that, like, I am in agreement that no one should discourage anyone of having any sort of opinion. And I believe, actually, I don't believe, I know this, that Ty is on the opposite spectrum of that, because he's of the strong opinion that, like, gamers are just trolls and crybabies.
He's European,
just
dude.
Complain all the time.
He's European. Aren't they the ones who are championing policing speech? Don't people get arrested? Don't people get arrested on the UK for what they say on social media, for memes? Don't people get arrested for memes in the UK?
Yeah.
Why are we surprised?
No, like, I don't know much about UK politics, but all I'm saying is that
I also don't know much. You know what I do know? I know that they're human beings getting arrested because someone got their fifis hurt on Facebook. Not from a death threat, not from a threat of violence, just from someone making fun. Then they got offended, and guess who goes to jail? Actual jail. It's not a toy jail. It's real jail. People are going for years.
Like, I know you're passionate about this, nah?
Aye. You're the one who brought the fact
but
that
like,
the European is into policing speech. You're the one who did it, not me. You're the one who did it.
Let's smash JT and call it finish. They're
not if they trigger me again.
And to get it accurate.
Not if they trigger me again.
Yeah, to get it accurate. And that's why I wanted to come on to let you know, everyone in the industry knows that the gold standard of numbers is Circana. Doesn't mean, and yeah, everyone knows that.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So just a couple of more things that I want us to discuss, unless you have anything you want to add. Thank you guys for contributing to the conversation. Vincent Vega. Vincent says, face green smiling.
He said what?
He's got like a smiley face, green smiling. I think he was referring to something that happened earlier on. Cassie says, people like Colin just want motherfuckers to be mindless slob consumers. Hey,
there you go. Get excited for next product.
That's a take. Kez.
Only if it's on PlayStation, though. Only if it's on PlayStation. Notice, Smash.
Hold on.
Notice, Smash has been shitting on Xbox games as well. Colin ain't said none a damn thing. As soon as Smash starts shitting on his PlayStation game, now we have a problem. Now we have to make an event of it. Big coincidence.
Kez agrees with Taya here. He says gamers have always been immature as fuck. Welcome to the gaming world. That's exactly the same thing I said. Is that like, well, that's kind of like half of the internet.
Exactly, dude. Don't come here if you can't. It's like the people that got into Dungeons and Dragons. Oshas. Dungeons and Dragons was dark. It was grimy. It was nasty. It was vicious. People got into Dungeons and Dragons that didn't even like Dungeons and Dragons and decided to create an amalgam of Dungeons and Dragons and RuPaul's Drag Race. Okay. And we're supposed to be okay with that. We're not. Okay. The same way with gaming discourse in general. The way people talk, the way we interact, the way our video games are. We don't want them to change. This thing became gigantic. It became a behemoth without these softer than cotton nail people. They weren't here, Ushers. We built this motherfucker.
I wish Taya was here to counter you.
Now that this motherfucker's popping, now we're gonna cater to them. You know what? If we have to go back. Ushers, do you remember The Matrix? If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Matrix Reloaded, when the architect threatens to release everyone from the Matrix, and then they're like, but you won't be able to survive. And he says there are levels of survival that we are willing to accept. The more I see this rubbish and the homogenization of gaming, the more I'm feeling more like the architect, Ushers. You know what? If we have to survive off of games like Schedule 1 for 10 years and get these grifters out, because they're all grifters. You know what, Ushers? I'm down. Let's do it. Fuck it. Burn the whole AAA thing down. Burn it down. It's fine. Leave the people that actually love this thing and just want to play video games. The people that wanna take their messages from whatever they learned at their social studies at varsity, get these people out, send them to Hollywood, right? But send them to wherever. Make video game profits so small that only the devs that are super into it make money, and big corporations go broke. I can handle 20 years of Schedule 1. We'll be fine. You know what? For the past couple of months, all I've been playing is Deep Rock Survivor. Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. Outer Worlds 2 is the first AAA game I've played in a long while. It's fine. Burn it down. Get them out. Because as soon as gaming stops being as profitable, all of the flies are going to just leave. And then it's just going to be us again. But then they'll come back because we'll build it up again and they'll be right back. Fucking leeches.
Okay, I'll clip that for Ty. He's got I'm sure he's got a couple of opinions in terms of how he feels about that.
He's gonna block me.
I just know that like he's on the opposite spectrum. I love this. This just made my day.
He's busy licking boots. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, man. This is real. Any thoughts on this, Luke?
Sorry,
you being a Sony fanboy, did you see the video I put up?
You put a video up?
Yeah.
Hold up. Where's me?
1 second.
Most of my audience watches me because I'm funny, because I'm honest, because of my personality, and because I'm a gamer's gamer. I'm immature as fuck. They like to make fun of me, and I can take a joke. Exactly. And you understand, Carl Classic Cage. You didn't have to learn the culture like a lot of these fucking grifters did. You are like Bane in the darkness. You were born in the culture.
Bane in the darkness. Can you see the video I put up?
I don't see any video. I just see a guy holding a PlayStation with Halo on it.
It's a video.
Oh, okay. Halo going upstairs, Halo going down. Oh, now he's mad. And you know what's crazy is that in real life, that's not what happens, though.
I love that. That just made my day. Anyways, I wanted to share that with you guys. I've got another one. I just got one more. Jeez.
That's how these grifters get caught out, Carl Classic Cage. Because you can fake it. You can fake it for a while. But you always get caught out. That's why Smash got caught out. Oh yeah, Starfield's definitely going.
Yeah, the whole damn slate. I'll play that again. The whole damn slate.
Redfall on PlayStation is gonna go really hard. That's going to piss some people off. Oof.
Oh gosh, the whole damn slate. There it goes. There it goes. So there's one other news item that's not really related to. Let's see if I have it here. It's not really related to gaming that I wanted us to talk about. Is it here? It's the right video. I just post something that's completely offside. Let's see. On stream, what video is this?
Weapons free.
Oh no! I actually just shared this to celebrate Halo 5's release. So that's pretty much it. The only other thing I wanted to discuss with you is that did you see the news of? Are you a Snyder guy, or are you a James Gunn guy?
I'm a Snyder guy. I'm a Snyder guy. I didn't like the Superman movie.
So tell me, did you see the news that like he's been posting a lot of stuff lately? He posted a couple of pictures. Let me see if I can't get them.
Okay, I'm a Snyder guy, but I'm not gonna sit there and like watch everything that he does.
No, like he just recently created an Instagram. That's why everyone is talking about it. He just recently created an Instagram, and then on his Instagram, what text? I'm very confused, Vincent Vega. Just 4 games, text green, game over. Anyways, I'm saying that I sort of get it. So I'm saying that like so he started posting a lot of stuff recently from his what is it called? Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it got a lot of people talking about the fact that maybe there is actually a potential deal that's coming with because Warner Brothers is being sold off most. So there might be a potential deal where Netflix gets to sort of run with the DCEU license. I don't know how this would work, but that's sort of like
so what Netflix would prefer Snyder over James Gunn?
So all Snyder stuff would be on all Snyder stuff would be on Netflix, and then they would decide what they do with the cinema stuff. That is, of course, if Netflix is bought by someone else. The other option is that
already released stuff.
Yeah, well, all the already released stuff and future stuff that he's planning to do because he's got a very good deal with Netflix.
Wait. You're telling me there might be a universe where James Gunn makes a Batman movie and then Zack Snyder makes a Batman movie?
That's the issue. We're not sure because of the fact
I
that
don't think that can happen.
I also don't think that can happen. I think people are being too optimistic because the thing is this, right? Is that the guys, if Paramount buys Warner Brothers, because the potential buyers is Paramount and Netflix. Those are like the prime, people that are in the conversation. So if Paramount buys them, there's doubt that they might retain James Gunn. And if Netflix buys Warner Brothers, then there's also a strong chance that Zack Snyder, since they own the studio, they can let him finish his vision of, what is it? Was it a 5-movie epic?
I don't remember.
Yeah. So that's just something that's been everybody's been talking about. That is in a similar space that we're in. And so I thought, it would be something nice to sort of like pick your brain about. Would you be excited for that if they said we'll continue his stuff, but it'll be launching on Netflix, maybe a limited release in cinema, but it's gonna be Netflix first?
Yeah, I'd much prefer. Like I'm one of those people. I think we're very few because I heard very good things about. I heard good things about James Gunn's Superman. Yeah?
I didn't like it. I watched it. I wasn't a fan. Like I just thought it was too goofy for me. Like that style works with Guardians of the Galaxy, which I loved, as well as my favorite movie from James Gunn, which is The Suicide Squad.
But you know what's ironic?
The
ironic thing, Oshis, is that James Gunn's Superman is actually the real Superman.
Is it? Yeah, in terms of like being more comic accurate.
Not just more comic accurate, but even in the movies, that's the one that's always been made, even since back in the 80s. That's the original Superman. He fits that mold. But the problem is that Henry Cavill and Schneider, they showed us that just because something is great doesn't mean it can't be made better.
So I agree with everything that Cassie's saying. Like, I think if you look at Zack Snyder from an objective lens, you got a solid argument to call him a hack in terms of like how many hits he's had versus how many sort of like misses. And I sort of agree with you as well in terms of like James Gunn being a little bit, it's all about him. Since he's taken over the DCEU or whatever, all you see
is essentially Superman,
it's his
bro.
Brother. Yeah, like it's Superman. Him, it's his brother, it's his friends, it's his wife, and it's all just become his show. Sorry, go ahead, look.
I feel like James Gunn wants to be Superman, bro. It's exhausting.
I feel like he wants to be all the main characters.
I just want him to get out the fucking way. And then I found out that his dog was part of the thing. I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of James Gunn. And Guardians of the Galaxy,
I love
the third one for me. The third one for me was like clearly showed that he's very good at making Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Yeah,
but
that's what everybody's saying.
You don't want to tell him to do anything else. He's probably going to disappoint you.
Yeah, because again, like he's a very good writer and storyteller. I think, like for me, it's weird because him and Zack Snyder actually complement each other perfectly because Zack Snyder's got a great eye for visuals. Like everything that Zack Snyder does just looks fucking cool. It looks like a commercial. It just looks excellent. Like visually, he gets it right. He gets casting right. He gets music choices right. Where he lacks is being able to write a coherent story that is actually interesting. Where
Zack
James
Snyder
Gunn is brilliant.
Zack Snyder could make me taking a dump seem epic. He could make it work.
So James Gunn is the opposite. He's a great writer. Most of the stuff that he's written is solid. Like, he knows how to write interpersonal relationships. He knows how to take characters that are very obscure that you wouldn't care about and make you care about them, whether it's a raccoon, a guy that shoots polka dots out of his hands or whatever. And then he makes that character something that you literally fall in love with. But the problem with them is that all of them, like it's like if they worked together, they would sort of be able to fix all their gaps, because they have the gaps. The one has the gaps where the other has strengths. And I feel that, like, one of the best movies that they've ever made was Dawn of the Dead, which is they worked together. James Gunn wrote it and Zack Snyder directed it. And it was a great movie. And by most people's measure, that's their favorite James Gunn or / Zack Snyder project. For me personally, for James Gunn, it's The Suicide Squad. I think for me that's his best work. For Zack Snyder, it's The Watchmen. I love that movie. I think it's one of the best superhero movies ever made.
Yeah, and
I hated all the.
It says something. I guess it says something that he did such a great job with an IP that was already done for him. He just had to do the shots, but the story was already done for him.
And that's where he thrives. He thrives where somebody else did the writing.
Yeah.
So I think we're in agreement there. So Fuzzy says, that's why he had Mr. Terrific, Hawk Girl, Guy Gardner in the movie. Gunn's style works perfectly for JLA. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, he should have done that. He would have directed a great Black Adam movie, because that's where you had the old is it the JLI, the Justice Society. He would have done great with that movie, with that IP. Because it's supposed to be an ensemble cast. It's not a movie about a guy.
Can you imagine James Gunn's massive ego plus The Rock and his massive ego?
That would have been interesting.
Oh my god!
But don't forget, The Rock did such a good job working with, like, for instance, what's his name, Michael Bay, on Pain and Gain. So I think The Rock, depending on the project and the director, if he's got a good rapport with them, they could do something.
He got humbled. That's why he's different.
I agree, Cass. If you're a fan of the genre, then everybody knows George A. Romero. He's like the originator of the zombie genre, and a lot of what we know about zombies today is based on a lot of his work. So Fuzzy says, and still completely botched the ending of Watchmen. I mean, like, I disagree with that, Fuzzy, completely. I think everyone that wanted to see a giant squid crush the world, it just would not have been realistic enough, given the climate of the film. His ending of, Dr. Manhattan, essentially, or the world believing that Dr. Manhattan blew up everyone, I think was right for the theme of the movie. Like, a squid squashing half of New York would make sense in a comic book, but in a seriously toned Hollywood movie, I don't think it works as well. And that's just my opinion. I know a lot of fans did not like that, but then again, I didn't like the series where they actually brought that whole squid angle in. I thought the series was crap. I don't know, Luke, did you ever see the Watchmen series?
Wait, the TV show?
The TV show, yeah.
No, I watched the Critical Drinker destroy it, and I was like, why am I gonna waste my time with that? I was like, nah, I'm good, man.
I didn't like it because of what my favorite character in the Watchmen is, Rorschach, and they turned him into some 2025. So now he's got to be like some form of like a sticker guy, and his entire movement is like, it just inspires like, right wingers and stuff like that. So I didn't like any of that. I was like, that's not what Rorschach just hated everyone, especially criminals. That's not what his real character was about. So
I'm telling you, Ushers, these fucking grifters, bro, I'm telling you, they're everywhere. It's just people that want to make a quick buck. They don't even like the stuff that we like. They don't read the comic books. They don't play the video games. They just want a check. That's all they fucking want.
So Fuzzy, sorry to interrupt you there. Look, so Fuzzy agrees with the take that they did on the film version. Sorry, on the series version where they actually introduced the giant squid. Look, the way that they themed it, it probably did work. I don't know. I didn't watch the series. I think I watched the first 2 episodes, and I just didn't like where they were going with it. And it's worse because it's the guys that write. It's same guys that wrote Lost. It's your J.J. Abrahams, Akila Goldsmith. It's all those guys. Lindelof. I forgot what his name is. And I just don't like their writing. I think their writing is very hacky, and it's very predictable. So I checked out. So I think Zack Snyder's translation of the comic is the best version. And guess who wrote it, Sloke?
Who?
Take a guess. It's linked to someone something you care about a lot.
Was it David Hayter?
Yep, David Hayter wrote the script. It was one of his first. It was such a troubled script. He's the guy that managed to pull it off.
There you go.
After he wrote the X-Men, he's credited. Go watch the movie. He's in the credits. David Hayter, and he's even got like if you watch his documentaries, he's got like a whole bunch of stuff like that. That goes into his involvement with the project. So that was also awesome to know that Solid Snake actually wrote The Watchmen.
Yeah, that's probably what bothers Kojima. Now that I think about it, he probably feels threatened. By the dude.
It's so weird. I don't get that. Like I really don't understand why.
Right?
Because they don't do the same thing though. Like I know they're both writers, but like he could just make your work better for the West. Why would you be threatened by that?
Yeah, I never understood it. We're going to find out one day, but sadly not today.
Okay, all right. I think we're 3 minutes away from 2 hours, Luke. I think we manned a very good show. And some very good verbal spars.
You asked me what I wanted to talk about, right?
Yeah.
I want to talk about an article. Article on VGC, and the headline says GDC says companies that don't attend send a message they don't care about developers. And
the game development conference.
Yeah.
So who said this? Is this the organizers?
Yeah, the game developers. Let me read the article. Last year's GDC, which is held annually in San Francisco, saw engine makers Unity and Epic cut back their presence, while Sony did not appear at the event's expo area. Speaking to Game Business, GDC's Executive Director of Innovation and Growth, Mark DeLora, said the company's absence was noticeable and claimed they risked alienating developers. Okay, Mark DeLora's job, right, is innovation and growth. Companies are leaving, which means he's not innovating, and instead of growing, he's shrinking. Right? So this statement really, for me, is just protecting his job. He's trying to protect his job. And I think it's massive cope to say that they risk alienating developers. Okay, let's say they alienate these developers. Let's say none of these companies go to GDC and just the developers go. Are y'all gonna quit your jobs? Is every single one of you gonna feel so out in the cold that you're gonna leave and go and do your own thing? Of course not. So stop with the cope. Stop it. You're a salary slave just like everyone else.
So what was the response from the dev community?
Here's a couple of quotes. As an attendee, I was disappointed not to see Unity and Unreal on the show floor, he said. I worked for Sony and I started the Sony booth 25 years ago. Not to see Sony on the show floor is just disappointing. I really feel like you've got so many developers there. You've got to have a front door. Of course, these companies are going to have their own events. They have their own communities. They need to foster, and they can talk about things that are more NDNA'd at their own events that they may not want to do at a public show. But you're not going to find the independent developer who doesn't already know somebody at your shop unless you're there with your door open. The quote, isn't that the purpose of conferences? Meeting new people. You've decided that you don't want to meet new people. I can't understand that. There's more to it than that. Of course, there are costs, etc. But developers get the vibe. If you're not there or appear not to be there, are they sure that you care about them? That's what I don't understand. Motherfucker, they don't care. Let me pull the rug. Let me pull the rug from your feet. Sony doesn't care. Nintendo doesn't care. Xbox doesn't care. No one cares. They'll put the job posting on LinkedIn. They know every single one of you will apply to that job posting, and they will pick whoever they want to pick and keep pushing. They don't care. And then whenever it's time for quarterly earnings reports, they're going to offload like 3,000 of you again. So no, they don't care. The quotes continue. I would say this, because that's why I got Sony involved in GDC in 2001. We needed to be there. We needed to be there for the developers. It's important. My guy, 2001. God damn. That's the end of the quotes. Go ahead, Oshis.
Yeah. No, like I was just curious to see what the responses were from like all the big developers. When is GDC?
I don't fucking know.
Right, that's interesting. So what do you think the cause of the conflict there is? Like, why are they sort of compelling people to sort of...
It's the same as E3. It's the same as E3, dude. These formats are dying or they're dead. Everything's online. And if you're trying to take it... And then I think the final quote really, like that sums it up perfectly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Interesting.
People are still thinking like it's 2001.
Yeah.
Remember the year the Odyssey came out? Can you imagine that shit?
The gaming industry has changed.
Bro, the world has changed.
Yeah.
And
I
not,
agree
not
with
slightly.
you.
It hasn't changed slightly, bro. It has transformed completely. Like the head is not even where the head should be. It's like at the foot. The head, where the head used to be, there's like the testicle, and only one of the testicles. The other one is like at the hip. The gaming landscape is unrecognizable today versus 2001. Why are you championing events and necessities that were relevant in 2001? What are we doing?
Yeah. It's time to move on.
It's time to move on, bro.
Agreed to a large degree. I do agree with what you're saying, is that certain things are nice, like when we think back on them, like they're nice for nostalgia, but we have to live in today's world. But anyways, I think, look, we've had a great overall conversation, and thank you, Fuzzy, Richie, Vega for coming through, Vincent Vega for coming through, Cult Classic Cage. Always a pleasure to have you guys over. You make the show so much more, than anything that we could possibly do without you. All right, and we look forward to seeing you guys here next week, same time, same place. Look, plug your stuff, man. Like, yeah, maybe just run us through maybe your new format in terms of like when we can tune into your shows.
We are now doing bullsitting on TSWS every single Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central African time. Y'all make sure to come through. We talk about video games mostly, and that's pretty much it. We used to do weekly shows during the week, but life is kind of taking over. So for now, we're just doing Saturdays.
Okay, that's awesome. Thanks for the props, Cass. We really appreciate it. As far as this channel is concerned, so I'm just gonna start uploading some clips regularly, like on a daily basis, just gameplay footage, all the stuff that you get called out for when people go through your channel and they see that there's a huge gaping, of content. So I'm gonna start posting that stuff on, and I'm working on a Star Wars video as well. That should be up probably in the next week or so. But yeah, here, same time, same place next week. And thanks for joining, guys, and looking forward to seeing you guys again. Cass, I'll definitely, so I'm trying to sort of tune into your stream, more regularly, or catch some of your streams more regularly. Like, it's just like, the whole time delay can be an issue, but definitely I'll catch you next Thursday and Friday. Awesome show, by the way. I really enjoyed it. Cheers, everyone.